Good evening, everybody. Welcome to my show. This is Ron Tucker with At Ron's Talking. It's been a minute, been away from the screen for a while, but at the same time, had some things to take care of. And there's been so much stuff going on with our government. It's in total disarray, and we all know this pretty much. But anyway, just saw a photograph that I think Trump's going to really be pissed off about this one. He ain't gonna like Time Magazine, I don't think. Now, this picture here is a little bit more befitting of number 47 and a half. What do you think? Well, I see Trump is displaying more of his ignorance and petty behavior. He stripped a number of people of their security clearances, including Anthony Blinken, the former Secretary of State, Letitia James, who, by the way, held a scathing press conference about him and his crew, and she letting Trump and Pam Bondi know what time it is, that New York is ready to deal with them. Bring it on. And also Alvin Bragg. And in addition, he didn't forget about former President Biden, that is, where he revoked his security clearance too. But in all fairness, Biden revoked Trump's too. So I guess between those two, turnaround or turnabout is fair play, as they say. But Trump didn't forget to give old Putin a clearance. Of course, Putin don't really need a clearance. He's been owning Trump ever since Trump got into office 8 years ago. But Trump forgot about Elon's security clearance, so there you have it. Next up, old Captain Bone Spurs, he appointed a donut shop owner as an ambassador to Costa Rica. I believe her name was Melinda Hildebrand, and she's a donut shop owner, as I said, but don't let the bakery ownership fool you. Her husband has plenty of dough. Hey, I couldn't help for that one. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting sometimes. Man, be cool. My bad. Okay. This is my sidekick. For some reason, I forgot to mention his name and introduce him to all the fans. But you got to realize, man, it's late right now. I scratched. I skipped you. I forgot you. My bad. He's all in my head now, He talking about, hey, get it straight, or else he gonna fire me. Man, you crazy. Anyway, her husband, Miss Hildebrand, the donut lady, he's a billionaire, so I guess she's a billionaire too. Now, you see the play, of course, they donated a lot of that dough to the tune of about $1.2 million in 2024 to Trump's coffers. So that obviously is going to secure you some kind of administrative post. Could be an ambassadorship, could be, just a run-of-the-mill, not a cabinet position, but at least a job in administration. I don't know. Well, HUD's already taken up by another black person, so, she couldn't get that one. So Trump gonna send her, but to Costa Rica. They got nukes in Costa Rica. Somebody let me know. I'm not sure. That's another damn DEI hire. Speaking of jailbirds, I see Todd and Julie Chrisley from that reality TV show that I've never watched. They politicking right now for Trump to offer them or provide them with one of those pardons he got stuck in his back pocket. And they tired of that prison food, you know what I'm saying? They got busted for defrauding people out of millions of dollars. And I'm not going to go through all the circumstances behind their arrest, but suffice to say, he got 12 years, she got 7. And I think they're about in the second year of their incarceration. So, they're going stir crazy right now. So Julie thought that her lily white ass was going to catch a break over some perceived procedural error and a technicality that was going to get her sprung. No, the judge said nope. He sent her butt right back to that cell with the same punishment she received when the first got started. So that's a wrap. But her husband, he and his attorney, they feel kind of lucky right now because, we got a convict in the White House anyway. So I'm sure he might be favorable to some other convicts who need to be set free like the January 6th guys. So I guess they got a reason to be optimistic. And, as they believe that Trump's going to consider a pardon. And as their attorney says, the old standard, we think that President Trump will, he'll receive our pardon request with some strong consideration due to the fact that the Christies were being treated so unfairly by our justice system. Ain't it funny that every time crooks get busted, it's always the justice system is unfair to them, especially if they're so-called celebrities. Kind of like the way Trump feels, the way he acts. Justice system's always fucked up when it's dealing with their asses. Okay. Oh, I see old Joe Exotic. He's in the batter's box right now, waiting for his turn to cop a plea and beg to Trump for a reprieve and a pardon and all that. And then you got who else? The new housewives of New Jersey. I mean, not the new. I only watch those reality shows so much. Y'all excuse me for mispronouncing the name of this show. The Real Housewives of New Jersey. They got named Joe Giudice. I think his wife is still on the show, and he's trying to keep him getting deported. I think he's from Italy or Spain, wherever the hell he's from. It's across the pond. But anyway, I don't think it's a good time to be talking about deportation right now, especially with Tom Homan, the ICE director, who's feeling kind of icy right now himself because he ain't hitting those quota numbers that they were talking about as far as all these immigrants they're going to boot out of here. So if I was Joe, Mr. Giudice, I think I'd chill a little bit until Homan's numbers ramp up a little bit. Then he might be a little bit more reasonable and might be feeling a little better about himself. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So I look at Trump's MAGA and that stupid government position, or should I say agency that they created called Doge. Their agenda is kind of sorry right now, but they show no sticking it to red America. All those MAGA people that live in those red states, they catching it right now, and they salty. So it's coming. It's like dropping that rock in that pond. Those ripples are coming and hitting everybody. So just hang on, MAGA. There's more to come. So what's the crook in chief up to right now? And matter of fact, let me run down a little bit what he's done so far in his first 3 weeks in office. Let's see. He gave the January 6th criminals and convicts a reprieve and pardoned them. He did a TikTok delay on their ban. So we'll see how TikTok fares. He reversed the Biden era orders, I think about 78 to be exact. Immigration issues, including redefining birthright citizenship. He's done a little bit of that. Melania, I think you better go ahead and divorce him now while you can, while you still a U.S. citizen. I'm just saying. Hint to the wise. Also, he withdrew the U.S. from NATO, established the national government agency called Doge, which is really imaginary because they're not even an official agency. But hey, who are we to argue with the Fuhrer? He enacted a hiring freeze at the federal level. signed an executive order giving him more control over the federal workforce, and which also allows him the freedom and the ability to go ahead and fire more people, because he created this policy called Schedule F. I mean, that man, something else. He's always, well, him and his group, they're always scheming. He issued 2 executive orders to allow the DOJ and the DNI to investigate Biden's administration, of course. Revoked the security clearances of 51 former intelligence officials, including John Bolton. And I think Bolton deserved it. You know, he was always riding Trump's butt and riding coattails when he was in the administration. But once he found out what Trump's all about, he been dragging Trump. Now Trump just getting back at him. So, you know, that's how they always go back and forth. All these Republicans who loved his butt 8 years ago, now they singing a different tune, and so is Trump. Captain Bone Spurs ended the DEI programs at the federal government level. We all know that. He tried to rename, or has renamed, some U.S. landmarks, withdrew the U.S. from the Paris Climate Accord again, released the RFK, JFK, and MLK files. He recognized the Lumbee tribe as an Indian tribe in North Carolina that was acknowledged by Congress in 1956, but still hadn't received federal blessings as of yet. So they don't receive federal funding and receive those other perks that some of the other tribes get right now. So I guess Trump's trying to do something nice for these Native Americans who aren't being recognized as Native Americans. But this is America. Home of the free, land of the brave, something like that. Anyway, first Americans are treated like the last Americans. That's how this thing goes, folks. Y'all got a reservation. Y'all need to be happy, because they ain't trying to deport y'all, but don't give them no ideas. See, Captain Bone Spurs also is busy trying to purchase Greenland or the Mediterranean Riviera over in the Middle East. Once he gets that secured, then he's going to have a place to put all of us, I guess. You notice, though, after all this flurry of activities that the POTUS has been involved in, just a whirlwind, they call it the Blitzkrieg, more aptly. He ain't mentioned shit about eggs, gasoline prices, or food price in general, for that matter. I guess he's too busy planting bombs in all of our federal agencies. But he did talk about magnets this week. And can somebody tell me, when was Elon sworn in? I missed that one. I mean, I don't know where I was. If somebody can tell me when that event occurred, who swore him in, I'd appreciate it. I've been watching stuff all week, just like everybody else, folks. And this president has put America under attack. We are witnessing the destruction of our government as we know it, and the slow erosion of all our norms that we are used to and that we hold dear. The people that came before us, our forefathers, and I'm not talking about the founding fathers, I'm talking about your grandfathers, your great-grandfathers, people who gave their blood, their lives, and everything else they sacrificed from 1776 to 1946 to 1956, and so forth and so on. Americans have fought for freedom. Some folks might say, hey, we were in some conflicts that we shouldn't have been in. Some people will say there were certain individuals at the government level and the White House who created conflicts. I ain't gonna mention Bush's name, but through it all, we've always found a way to keep our laws enforced for the most part and keep sanity within our government and within our country. Our country's never been perfect. No country is. And we have always, when I say we, I'm talking about, I'm going to be specific. Black people, we know that we were brought here, and we were brought here against our will. And when this country was officially formed, after they dispatched the Indians, we have been constantly trying to fight for our rights, freedom, and then the right to conduct our business like any other American citizen. But it seems white people in general, and you know the ones I'm talking about, so if what I'm saying pertains to you, you understand who I'm talking to and what time it is. The white people who feel like we don't belong, well, it's a little bit too late to be acting like we don't have any rights again, because we've been making, I guess, in some white people's mind, too much of inroads, and we've been given too much, I guess, freedom, rights, equality, the opportunity to compete. And because that seems to be a threat to white people who feel threatened because, number one, their numbers are dwindling population-wise, and number two, because you had qualified minorities, including blacks, that all of a sudden, DEI was no big problem a few years ago, but all of a sudden, of course, when Trump shows up, everything's a problem when it comes to rights. And they've given him the green light to go ahead and just say and do whatever he pleases. And we can look at almost everything that's been happening lately and just look at the utter travesty that is occurring. It's so ridiculous. And this man is so ridiculous. It really boggles the mind and it defies logic, period. It is totally amazing how the Republican Party has capitulated to this man, and they have no credibility. They show no character, no integrity. They don't care anymore. It's Trump or bust. And I believe they're going to get busted. Got a special election coming. Midterms kind of around the corner, getting closer every day. And the way Donald Trump is just blowing up everything without any kind of consideration or thoughts, just doing things recklessly as he's always done. Now, people are beginning to look at each other and look at themselves and look around and wonder, why do we do this? But it's just beginning to start as far as the repercussions from all of these stupid, unlawful executive orders. And remember, executive orders are not law. Those are just powers, if you will, that a president can utilize and that he enjoys, but it's not constitutional law. And him and his renegade government employee or special government employee has been wreaking havoc. And my other question is to people, everybody's talking about it, but I wonder, where is Elon Musk and his authority to do all the things that Trump has been allowing him to do? And Trump, just like in that, I'm sure you folks saw in the Oval Office, where to me, what I saw was a president who has abdicated his role. And he's not the only one, because Congress, they had thrown in the towel a long time ago by nominating. And also, well, Trump nominated him. These reckless Republicans, with their cowardice, they have confirmed some of the worst individuals in American history to fill cabinet positions. It is just a disgrace. It's an abomination. It is just a damn shame that Republicans don't care enough about this country that they will allow these two knuckleheads, Trump and Musk, to basically try to destroy it. But it's on their watch and it's on their head. And I've said it many times, you could trace everything back to old Mitch McConnell. And when he was the majority leader more than 8 years ago, he and the rest of the Republicans, a lot of them are still here. They all turned a blind eye twice. I remember Susan Collins talking about after it was either the first impeachment or the second one. I can't remember which one it was, but she made a comment about, Trump, he's not going to do these things he was doing. He's going to be I think he learned his lesson. How you like him now, Susan? How's he looking to you? Looking swell? You looking good, Susan? Yeah, he learned his lesson. He learned you and a lot of other senators and congressmen and the American public, the majority of the ones who voted for him, are fools. This man stole our classified documents and took them home. Nothing happened to him because we got crooked people at the top all over the place. Just ask Judge Cannon. See? And everybody that tried to hold him accountable before he got a chance to get his weaselly ass back in office, they got rebuffed by some of the courts and by some of the judges. Look at Fani Willis. They're going to talk about how she made a big mistake fooling around with Nathan Wade. Well, her fooling around with Nathan Wade or whatever that little stuff was about her and him wasn't about Lottie Dottie, because they didn't cause or create what Trump was found guilty of, like in New York, and what he was going to go on trial for in Georgia. He interfered with the election. And those Republicans in Georgia in the state legislature, they couldn't wait to try to come up with some kind of scheme, some kind of way to derail what this lady had the guts to do. And that was to bring Donald Trump's ass to court and bring justice to his ass. But that ain't happening in America right now, because Donald Trump is treated like a sacred cow. So after he did all that stuff, of course, he was interfering with Ukraine, got his butt impeached again. But once again, McConnell, no, he, couldn't see doing nothing to the man that should have been done, which was to convict him and remove his ass from office. January 6th insurrection. They bloviated and puffed their chest out and talked all that old crap. And I knew, give them 2 weeks, they're going to turn around and back Trump to the hilt. And when you look at everybody in America that's been in the Republican Party that has associated with Trump, and it's been probably 99% of them, all of them talked about him like a dog before he got elected. They talked about him. And even today, they talk behind closed doors. They can't stand him, but they're afraid of his base. And they're afraid they're going to lose their jobs. They're going to get primaried. That's the difference between integrity and character and morals. And they are bereft of all three, and then some. But they've all taken an oath just so they get paid. It has nothing to do with what that oath stands for and what it means. It means nothing to them. Nothing. It's just a worthless piece of words. Because right now, there's people who are being hurt. There's people who are out of their jobs. Now they got people coming back, forcing them back to work, and they ain't even got desks to sit in because of this idiotic fool we call president. These fools remind me of so many bunglers in our history, but it's almost like trying to replace a car engine while the car is moving. That's how crazy and idiotic the moves of this president is. And he talks about the most inane, insane, idiotic, stupid, ridiculous shit. But when Joe Biden was around, he's the one that was suffering from a mental decline and possible dementia and all this. We had a chance to have somebody competent in our country running the country, which was a female. But white America, for sure, for the most part, they were the big number one culprits. They couldn't have that. Not a woman. Not a woman. A black woman, forget it. Hell, they wouldn't even put Hillary in office. They ain't trying to talk about none of that. But it's a shame because the Biden and Harris administration got us back on the right track after COVID and had the economy looking good. Gas prices were going down. Food prices were going down. I wouldn't pay no $5 or something for a dozen eggs. I am right now. And guess who stepped in office from day one talking about everything he was going to do, and egg prices shot up, gas prices start going up, food in general. Hell, 2 weeks ago, this may sound trivial, but I was going to buy a bag of M&M's that was $1.97 a couple weeks ago. It's $2.50 now. Inflation's going up. I read some of the indicators today. He didn't thrown everything out of balance, and it's going to get worse. Why? Because he ain't talked about egg price or gas price or food price and none of that, because he's been busy being an arsonist and doing all this other stuff to distract everybody from the real situation, the real deal. He don't know how to change or reduce the prices of nothing. Also, he's too busy running around grifting and got his bandit over there. He's grabbing and stealing money like it ain't nobody's business. It's called the Department of Government Efficiency. They're going to reduce waste and reduce spending and all this shit. and Elon's pocketing hundreds of millions of dollars every day. I even heard the rumor, and I don't know if it's the truth, and maybe rumor I heard enough times that Elon admitted that if Kamala Harris had won the election, he was going to go to jail because they say he done wiped out or got 34 charges against him removed. Folks, we can keep on looking at this carnage, and it is going to continue for a while. I don't know how long, but I know they're getting blasted right now by the courts. But all I can say is, people, we better stand up at every instance and let these clowns, all of them, from Trump down to his stupid press secretary to Musk, you name it, Robert F. Kennedy. Robert F. Kennedy. This idiot, this imbecile, this ridiculously stupid man, head of Health and Human Services. I ain't even go to the details because y'all know what he's about. I can't believe it, but I can believe it. And you know what? Kash Patel, they might well go ahead and just sign him up, because if Robert Kennedy could pass muster, you know Kash Patel's getting in. And then that traitor's ass Tulsi Gabbard, see, they completing everything. They didn't let Matt Gaetz get in because, hell, no one liked Matt Gaetz on either side of the aisle. So he was a sacrificial lamb. There wasn't no big loss as far as him not getting in. But see, those Republicans knew they couldn't keep on stonewalling and preventing the majority of Trump's cabinet picks, because he might get shitty at him. You start seeing them one by one start caving in when they start getting threatened by Trump's MAGA base, those death threats, and Trump threatened to have people like, what's her name, Murkowski, Collins, all of them going to get a primary. Joni Ernst, starting out the gate, she was talking big shit about how she wasn't going to vote for Hegseth to be Secretary of Defense, knowing he wasn't qualified. But once they start getting in her ear and start whispering what she didn't want to hear, a week later, she's singing a whole different tune in the choir. And so many of them, they'll put some of these people in office, like Pam Bondi. Lying from the day she opens her mouth, a liar. And they all lie to the committees. They all lie to the Senate. Every time people get confirmed, I've noticed it goes back to the three justices that Trump appointed: Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Coney Barrett. They said the Roe v. Wade was a settled law. And all of them, including the present cabinet members who got confirmed, they're all going to tell you what they want you to hear. Now, there are some exceptions. Some of them ain't really got no excuse for their incompetence and their unqualified status, that they just tell you lies and just, like, they know the Republicans got the majority, so they know they're going to most likely get in, and that's what it's proven to be. Robert Kennedy. That clown. Can't hardly talk. Voice sound like a gravel pit. Face look like a road map. Got a worm talking in his ear. Ain't making no sense about nothing. Lying about shit. Trying to make shit up. Don't know nothing. Didn't know the difference between Medicare or Medicaid. And he still got in. Tulsi Gabbard had her ass nailed to the cross, cornered. Democrats had the receipts. Republicans didn't give a fuck. So if there's still some confirmation hearing scheduled, if I was a Democrat, I wouldn't even show up. For what? If this space cadet Kennedy can get in Hegseth don't know shit from Shinola about running anything comparable to the damn Department of Defense. This clown is in office. Ain't this a bitch? A National Guard guy. I ain't got nothing against National Guardsmen, but he ain't even worthy of being called a weekend warrior. But I forgot he worked on Fox and with Fox News. My bad. Like I said, Pam Bondi, she was in because she accepted that $25,000 from Trump when she was the Florida AG, just so she can drop those charges against his ass when that Trump University case was going on with him. As soon as he put that donation on her, she became a fan. She dropped the case as the AG in Florida. Crooked, all corrupt. And now they just flaunt their shit right out in the open. Know why? Because their head, their chief, their president is a crook. A convicted, 34 counts, crook. So what do you think he's going to do for the rest of the crook population out there? That's the January 6th criminals who invaded our capital, domestic terrorists who were released and talked about by Trump like they were some damn heroes. That's how fucked up this country is now, folks. That's how turned upside down it is, because we got a maggot as president in the office. And ain't nothing he wouldn't do to make sure he exacts his revenge and retribution on all his enemies, anybody who dared to hold his ass accountable and make him face the law. Laws don't pertain to him, and the Republican Party has seen to it. I blame them. And also, before I go, I don't blame Trump solely on a lot of this stuff. He's complicit, of course. But to me, Trump ain't smart enough. He's not intelligent enough to orchestrate and put all this bullshit together he's been doing. He gets his directives from his camp, the Stephen Millers of the world, one of the most racist individuals in our country. You got to keep your eye on people like Stephen Miller, Sebastian Gorka, and all the other people that's behind the scenes that you see them. They're the ones who are feeding this pot-bellied pig all of his info and stuff that he needs to broadcast to the masses. Because Trump, some people think he's really so smart. You ever hear this motherfucker talk? Blabbering, blithering, buffoon. All he does is try to entertain his base. Ain't making no fucking sense about hardly anything. But it's vindictive as hell. But they want to hold his ass in high esteem. For what? For what, folks? He lied his way into office and is laughing at you fools right now because he know he got you again. And he said back in 98, if he was going to run for president, he was going to run as a Republican because he said he knows how dumb and stupid Republicans are. And he could do anything and they'll still vote for him. And he was right. We see it right now. This is pitiful. Our country is just being manipulated by a damn South African. At first, initially, an illegal immigrant, his damn self. But he's supposed to be the richest man in the world. So he's already bought Trump. And last but not least, lest I forget about what Trump is trying to engineer in Ukraine with Russia. Folks, I'm here to tell you, if you don't know already, this shit that Trump's trying to do ain't nothing but a crock of bullshit. Anything Trump's involved in, it ain't no damn good. And he's up to no good. What he's basically doing, in my estimation, he already sold Ukraine out. He ain't trying to give them no funding. He ain't trying to help them do a damn thing. He wants to cede Ukraine's land over to Russia. That's why he keeps meeting with Putin first. Then he might get around to talk to Zelensky, and he's supposed to met with Zelensky, I think, recently here. But he's trying to give Putin all the concessions and trying to make Ukraine just go ahead and go along to get along and let Putin have his way. Same thing with Hegseth, running his mouth, pissing everybody off over the EU because he don't know what the hell he's talking about or doing. This is where the shit show going to be real entertaining and interesting, because it's going to get worse with these knuckleheads in charge. But Trump, he's trying to fulfill his orders, basically, and the desires of somebody who's a hell of a lot more strategic and smarter than him, and that's Putin. Trump been bought by Putin and now Elon Musk, and he ain't, just like his son told him. Elon Musk's son told Trump what everybody else in America knows about him too. You shouldn't be sitting there in that desk. You're not the president. And then took a book out his nose for emphasis and put it on Trump's fucking desk to let Trump know you ain't shit. Except from the mouths of babes. And Trump sat there with his head down, looking around while Musk was standing up there fielding questions, dressed like a damn hobo. Because Trump ain't got nothing to say to Musk, because he's been bought by Musk. And he needs that money. So there you go, folks. That's all I got right now. I got some more coming. I was really salty early today, but I kind of fizzled out a little bit because it's late. And don't you say nothing, okay? You up here talking yang behind me, talking about I'm through. Man, I'm through when I'm ready to be through. And I'm through.